What's going on, guys? You're watching Hungry Handgunner. I'm Nick, and today I get to do that thing I really don't like talking about, and that's going to be politics. I try to stay away from politics for a number of reasons. Number one, that's everywhere you look. Number two, there's people more qualified and better prepared to talk about that stuff. And number three, inevitably is going to piss somebody off, which I think that been doing the gun channel long enough. I realize that people get upset no matter what opinion I give. There's always somebody that disagrees. However, I don't want to keep my mouth shut on this one just because I do feel like, as small of a platform as I do have some sort of obligation to help inform people when particularly egregious things start coming out and come in our direction. Those of us that value our freedom, value our liberty, value our ability to protect ourselves and our loved ones. So what we're going to be talking about today is going to be this House Bill 127, HB 127, introduced by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. They're going for broke on this one, guys. For years, we tried to say, myself, and I'm sure many of you have tried to say that gun control only works with a registration. Historically, registration then leads to confiscation. And then we would get argued with, nobody's going to do that. Well, they are. So right off the top, the bill does state that by way of the ATF, our favorite government organization, there will be a system for licensing the possession of guns and ammunition so that we can register the guns with the ATF. They would want each gun owner to give the ATF the following information: the make, the model, the serial number, the owner's identity, the date it was acquired, where it's stored, and the identity of anyone who it's loaned to. So there's your registration right there. They want all that info 3 months after the effective date of the bill. If you owned the gun before the bill went into effect, for each gun you buy after the bill goes into effect, the info will be needed the day of purchase. So yeah, that's great. Also, this one really gets me. With that database, with that registration, who will have access to that, you might ask? All members of the public, all federal, state, and local law enforcement, all branches of the military, and all state and local governments. Everybody. Everybody will be able to see what gun you own, what type of gun, the serial number, where it's stored, who you are, the date you bought it, how long you've had it, all this stuff. I, like many of you, I'm sure, prefer to keep that sort of information fairly private. Yeah, you guys know I have guns. You guys see me do videos with guns. There's that. It's no secret that I own firearms. But as far as what guns I have at my house, where in my house they're stored, I don't want that information just generally public, right? So the other thing is, if a criminal is going to come and break into my house, he has no clue if that house is armed, what they're armed with, what's in there that they could want to steal. So if, say for instance, a criminal's going to break in and now he knows that there are firearms there, he knows that you're armed, do you think that changes the approach on how he breaks in? Do you think that changes the category of criminal possibly burglarizing your home, right? If they know you have a gun, well, the chances are they're probably going to have one and be willing to use it as well. So that's lovely. Also, it's going to be a special license that we'll have to get. The Attorney General would be the one issuing these. You have to be at least 21, so sorry all you 17, 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. You guys can go die for these politicians and the wars they start, but you can't protect yourself here. You have to have a criminal background check, a psychological eval, and complete a training course that's at least 24 hours long and be insured. Your license will be denied or revoked if you are found to be psychologically unfit for any number of reasons. One of the reasons they gave was depression, right? It's no secret that I have dealt with depression. It's no secret that I've been an advocate of getting help if you do deal with depression. One of the things that in my personal life I try to do is try to get other guys to realize that if you are going through a rough time with depression, there's nothing unmanly, right, about going and getting help. So, could this be a barrier to that? Could this make somebody say, well, I don't want to get help. I don't want to lose my guns. Absolutely. You know what happens if a lot of cases of depression go untreated? Suicide. You know what suicides are commonly completed with? Firearms. It's just one big circle jerk of nonsense. The other thing I want to touch on here, who's doing the psychological evals? Are they going to be impartial? Or are they appointed by the AG? Are they appointed by Miss Jackson here? We don't know. I don't have high faith in that. Also, training course is 24 hours long. While I do think that it's important that firearms owners, especially those that are going to be carrying a firearm or using a firearm potentially for self-defense, I do think it's smart to go get trained. making it a government mandate to go spend that money for that kind of training to exercise what is enumerated as a right in our Constitution. No, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. And also, that is basically saying that only the rich will be able to defend themselves. I can't take 24 hours off of work, which would be two 12-hour shifts, to go take a course just to get my gun license, the course of which also costs money. So, and while not poor, that's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Also, now they say that the Attorney General would have the right to suspend your gun license if you don't have the firearms insurance, which is not really clearly explained as I've seen, but it is the cost has already been put out there. It's going to be $800, and there's no mention if that's per gun or total. Either way, make me buy a product through the government, no less. Affordable Care Act, ring any bells, and how lovely that was for most of us. The license renewal, you got to continue to jump through hoops on that. The Attorney General would renew a license as requested by a certain period of time, and as long as you've gone through at least 8 more hours of training. So that's lovely. Military-style weapons, and basically does a good job of making sure that basically all the loopholes that allowed people to own AR-15s and things like that before, those are gone. So that's great. By the way they're defining military-style weapon here is any of the firearms, copies, or duplicates of the firearms in any caliber known as Norinco, Mitchell, Polytechnicals, Automatic Kalashnikovs, Action Arms, Israeli Military Industries, Uzi and Galil, Beretta AR-70, Colt AR-15. List them out. Revolving cylinder shotguns, such as or similar to the Street Sweeper or Striker 12, a semi-automatic rifle that has the ability to accept a detachable magazine and has at least 2 of the following: folding stock or telescoping stock, pistol grip that protrudes conspicuously beneath the action of the weapon, bayonet mount, because gotta watch those bayonets now, flash suppressor, a threaded barrel designed to accommodate a flash suppressor, why, and a grenade launcher. Also defined is a semi-automatic pistol that has the ability to accept a detachable magazine and has at least 2 of an ammunition magazine that attaches to the pistol outside of the pistol grip, a threaded barrel capable of accepting a flash extender, flash suppressor, forward hand grip, or silencer, a shroud that is attached to or partially completely encircles the barrel that permits the shooter to hold the firearm with the non-trigger hand without being burned, manufactured weight of 50 ounces or more when the pistol is unloaded, and a semi-automatic version of an automatic firearm. Semi-automatic shotguns that have at least 2 of the following features: folding or telescoping stock, pistol grip, fixed magazine capacity in excess of 5 rounds, and the inability to accept a detachable magazine. So that's all great stuff there. I am going to have the link in the description if you guys want to check that out, because this is just fantastic. Also, if you violate terms of this, you will serve between 1 and 40 years in prison, as well as owing as much as $150,000, depending on what you violated. Certain types of ammunition are back on the table. Obviously, anything larger than 50 caliber, that's not exactly new. And large capacity magazines are definitely going to get you in trouble. And by large capacity, in case you guys are wondering, anything over 10 rounds. So the majority of what I own there. So in the majority of semi-automatic firearms on the market today, I would argue, not looking good, right? So guys, we need to fight this tooth and nail. The only way that we legally have available right now is going to be contacting your reps, letting them know exactly how you feel about it. No, I'm not telling you that I think it's going to work. No, I'm not telling you that I trust government, any of that stuff. So don't make assumptions, guys. You guys really don't know where I stand politically, other than how I feel about 2A issues. So there is that particularly nightmarish possibility coming our way. So guys, anyway, I hope that clears that up for you guys. It's a really bad one. I'm going to put a link to the full text in the description. Check it out. Get educated on it. We need to keep very mindful what these idiots are doing up there. Remember, they don't represent us. They don't represent our interests. And they cannot possibly relate to us. Many of whom were born into lifestyles that we can only dream of. Others have been given those lifestyles through our tax dollars for decades. So, yeah, contempt to all of them from me. But anyway, guys, stay safe, keep shooting, stay vigilant. The enemy is in DC, and they never sleep. And I'll see you guys next time.